Hello, my name is Cale Fleming, and I'm here to talk to you about eusociality and eusocial insects. You may be asking, what is eusociality and what are the insects that perform this behavior? Eusociality is defined by when overlapping adult generations of the same species care for the brood and young of another of that species that are not their own. This form of behavior is most famously recognized by the order Hymenoptera. Sorry. His order consists of ants, bees, and wasps. And I can tell you probably already know how this social caste works. There are two main groups in this complex social caste. There are the reproductive group, and there is the non reproductive group. The reproductive group consists of the drones and the queen. The drones are all males of the species. Their job is to breed with the queen and allow her to continue producing offspring. Without the drones, a colony cannot start and it cannot continue. Oh. Then there are the queens. The queens keep the population alive and growing within a colony. With just a bit of genetic material from the drone, they can produce hundreds of thousands of eggs within a year. And continue doing that for many years without needing any other male. Well, despite their name, queens do not necessarily rule the colony. Instead, it is more judged by reaction measures or by the entire colony itself, more like a giant brain, and the queen is keeping it alive. The second part of this cast are the non-reproductive group. The non-reproductive group consists of the workers. The workers are all, in most species, these are all sterile females. And they perform the labor jobs of the colony, which includes soldiers, guards, workers, diggers, scouts, nurses, and many other jobs. They form the main population of the colony and have the most important job of providing for it and in expanding it. Now, a couple questions for you. Why are all the workers sterile females? Why are they females at all? To answer that first question, it's to stop them from competing with the queen. If drones were to mate with every female worker within the colony, and they would start their own rival colonies, that would greatly hurt the species as a whole. Well, since they would be in constant competition with one another. Well, more competition with one another than before. The answer to the second question is because of basic biology. A Y chromosome needs to be in these eusocial colonies. There are some measure that needs to be added in order to create a male of that species, whether it be fertilized, unfertilized, need to be at a specific temperature, or so on. These measures make it so that there are less males than females in a population, and keep their numbers in check. Yeah. So that there is still a bottleneck effect within nature. Why do I talk about eusocial insects? It's because they are important. They are great teachers. Despite their somewhat unorthodox behavior, they are shown to be one of the greatest for evolutionists in nature. They have survived to this day, much like we have, under a complex social structure that has allowed them to work together, thrive, and expand, and in ways that even we haven't. That's what I find amazing about these creatures. That such a similar yet different in behavior can be adapted and evolved into a species. He's creating a social structure similar to one we have created ourselves.